Hi there, it's Fran Davidson from psychicandenergywork.com.au, and this is video number 4, part 4 of my monthly observations for August 2026. Part 4 always looks at the reality numbers in the month's chart. The reality numbers denote the end states, the outcomes, the results of our being, becoming, our learning, and our doing that we achieve through the other vibrations, the birth number and the MO, videos 2 and 3. Hope that makes sense. If it helps, go through to the website, to the monthly observations page, psychicandenergywork.com.au, where you will see the birth numbers, the MOs, and the reality numbers listed for this month, as well as perhaps a better explanation of what I just ran through. Anyway, first of all, what I want to refer to is that on that page as well, in the very last section, I talk about the reality numbers in a different way to how I'm going to discuss them now. One of the points I raise in that section is how this month may well call on us to become a little bit more flexible, a little bit more adaptable, not necessarily because that speaks of negative currents or more negative currents coming our way. Adaptability can also be read as a really great yoga stretch, which means, you know what, you're not limping tomorrow because you stretched it all out. You're more flexible. Yeah. When we're more flexible, we can also feel as if we can get on and achieve more. We're perhaps feeling like we are less stoppable, fewer obstacles in our path, more like Superman, Superwoman, or super whatever we're imagining ourselves to be. What I want to highlight in this video is how, as a result of what I've typed about the reality numbers in the monthly observations, in a sense, what we are being asked to, or what we are being led to more solidly towards by the end of this month, in our own way, uniquely for each of us in our own way, is more 7 and more 4. Now, 7 and 4 can really pair up as dynamics that are reinforcing. A lot, you can have that relationship between a lot of the numbers, not just the ones that are sequentially next to each other, like 2 and 3, 4 and 5. But both 7 and 4, in part, speak of mind. There are, I think, three numbers on one level, in the cycle 0 through to 9 that really speak of mental processing, and that is 3. 3 is the time we realise the light goes on, flash. You know, the flash bulb, the light bulbs go on. There you go. There's the word, right? 4 is the time that, as a result of 3, we sort of sit with it a bit enough to really understand it. Now, understanding is theoretical. We get the concept. We have a sense of what's required. But then the phases 5 and 6 happen in a way that we implement that understanding, that newfound awareness. Yeah. And we learn from it. In other words, you know what, I might think I'm a really good skater, and then I head out the door and, you know, I might bang into a tree or, you know, fall over a few times at least. Yeah. So 5 is the time when we really implement 3 and 4. 6 is the time where, you know, we rest because probably I've banged into a tree one too many times. Yeah. And it's also a time that buys us space to just stop, reflect, heal, yeah, but also just assimilate with everything that we've learned. And out of 6 comes 7. 7 is, oh my goodness, now I get everything that I need to know. Yeah. So where 4 is conceptual understanding, it's conceptual wisdom, therefore it's awareness. I'm aware, I know the theory. I'm a university graduate, and I mean that with respect, who, you know, I've done the study, I know what you're talking about, but I haven't actually been through that practical learning curve next to really get what I'm playing with at every level of being. So this is a month that is likely to help us all in this way, however it happens. In other words, what I'm trying to get across is the fact that don't be surprised if by the end of this month you really are feeling more robust, quite possibly even more, well, not more, but proud of yourself for all that you've been through, for all that you've had to process or take care of, assimilate. And for the very fact that, goodness me, you're still standing, you're still talking in a way that makes sense, yeah? You're still thinking clearly. And most importantly, you're just clear about what you've got to do moving forward. 7 is very much a time that is about, I know I don't need to ask any more questions. Yeah, I've got it. I know it. Just let me get on with it now. And through that, we go to 8, which again is implementation in a way that, you know what, you kick the goal, no questions answered. So again, it's, this month really wants to be constructive, productive, reinforcing, strengthening. And through all of that, even words like, yes, all right, empowering, but affirming, yeah, a positive time. All of these words, we can get to because of hiccups or through hiccups. Whenever we're in a trough, whenever things seem to be going downward, it's only going downward to get us to the next peak. So remember that. Use your breath and help yourself on your way. Stay positive. Be a magnet. Stay positive. So on that note, I'm going to do my last mini off-the-cuff reading for the month, right? This time I'm trying to mix it up. Really sorry. This time I've chosen a pear. Again, I haven't tuned into this, if that's the way to say it. I've just picked it up, yeah, and I'm going to run with it. Right. Okay, so what's coming out of the pear as I'm flicking it backwards and forwards is its roundness. There you go, roundness, all-roundedness, yeah? It helps big time, doesn't it? Even if we have what could be called an entrenched position, it helps to still make room for an all-rounded or even a more all-rounded view. None of that needs to mean a diminishing in self-knowledge, diminishment in its reasonableness, assuming it is being reasonable, yeah? And most importantly, none of it needs to result in a dismissal of the fact that likelihood is, even if you are in your egoic boots too much, you're just trying your best. We all just try our best. That's not the point. The point is that the point is, are we trying our best in a way that we remain open to question? Or are we defending against question? Are we defending against opposition? Opposition doesn't have to be seen as a bad thing. Sure, it can be unpleasant and frankly probably shouldn't be. Yeah. But opposition at the end of the day is only occurring because somebody else has something to express. The trouble is it all goes to pot when everybody stops expressing what they really need to. And it's so tempting some days, isn't it, to just focus on the surface of the expression, yeah? The immediate response, the reaction, and the taking care of ourselves rather than remembering this is only happening because there's a chance to get us to a better place, yeah? We all sort of know this. We can all sort of forget it. Yeah, don't be surprised because why is this happening? Why is this pear led to this for the observations endpoints about July? Because 7, which is one of July's endpoints, 25/7, 7 can be a time when we are too firmly in our opinions, when we're too firmly in our models, too firmly in judgment, bias, too firmly in a fixed way of viewing, thinking, approaching, doing, yeah, as if the world is square, as if my world is the only world or my way is the only way, and as if your way is somehow going to attack my way or threaten my way in a way that the two can't coexist well, successfully, in a way that they both really delight in. Yeah, egoic self in all of us is so forgetful of those things. Yeah, and even if we know it, we forget it regularly. Why? Because there's just so much going on and it is so easy to get pulled into egoic mindset. Why? Because we're all partly egoic, and it's through egoic self that we are forced to evolve, that we are invited to step into the delights that we actually really want, but they can only manifest if we're doing them at core. So all the very best. Thank you, Pear. Feel free to next month or even before next month. I'll probably only look closer to time, so don't feel like you've got to do it today. But anyway, feel free to flick through ideas about objects you would like me to pick up or visualize. So I understand that you might have, I don't know, a particular type of shoe at your place, as an example. A reading can happen off anything. It is best not to offer electromagnetic items or even items that are inherited or secondhand. That said, I'm not doing these readings on you personally. So to the degree that you're thinking, I'd like to contribute, and you know what, my grandmother's whatever is the thing that's calling me most, send me a photo or even just mention it in words in a message underneath this video in your comment. Yeah. And obviously I'll only be doing 4 next month. I will just wait till the day to pick them. So no guarantees, but feel free to join in and play with me on this count, because I don't know about you, I've enjoyed these videos more than I have in a while this time, and hopefully therefore so have you. All the very best with your flexibility, with your connecting, with your allowing, and most importantly, with your being kind to yourself and patient with everybody else, because we're all in a realm where we really don't know what's going to happen next. And the best thing we could do for each other right now is just say, I don't know either, even if I sort of do. Take good care. Have a wonderful month. Please get in contact if you need a hand, on any level, and hopefully speak soon. All the best.